Good afternoon, everyone. Today I want to speak about my journey through the West Highland Way. This happened in March 2020, so about a month ago. It took me a while to record this video due to the coronavirus, a lot of things going on. So let's back to the journey. So I start on middle of March. I think about the 10th. I left my house on the 10th of March and I came back on the 15th of March. So as I said, I was cycling the West Highland Way, which is a 154 kilometers long walking path. Walking path, it's because basically people normally do walk in that path. There are sections which are really quite difficult to walk and basically impossible to cycle through. So knowing that, you need to bear in mind to don't load your bicycle. So what I've done, I set up my bicycle with a very lightweight setup, like an handlebar roll bag, which I was storing some dry clothes to sleep at night, a frame bag, which I was storing some food, like bread rolls, fruits and some snacks, the tail bags, which I was holding up some cycling clothes to just cycling the day after. So I decided to split over 3 days. It's basically an average of 50 kilometers a day. I think is the right length if you're thinking of carrying some little food, some spare clothes, and rely on a hotel and restaurants. So bear in mind that in March most of the restaurants and hotels are closed, so you need to plan your journey ahead. So you need to book the hotel in advance, and that's why I set a 50 kilometer maximum length, because that's give me the chance to go through the day easily, and so not taking delay, not taking a chance to don't get to the hotel, as I wasn't carrying my sleeping gears. So the first day, as I said, is about 47 kilometers long. Easy path was running from Milgawi, which is on north of Glasgow, up to middle of the Loch Lomond Lake. I spent the night in a bank house, very friendly people. There were 2 guests plus me, so finding the food wasn't very difficult, but I do suggest you bring with you some bread rolls and stuff, because not all the restaurants are open and stuff. So the first day, as I said, it's very easy. The only challenging place was Conic Hill, which is about 400 meters high. You need to carry your bicycle on top of your shoulder, because it's really not cyclable. Then the view is spectacular. The day was actually good, sunny, sun clouds, but no rain, and a little bit of wind. Well, jumping on the second day was actually probably the most challenging day of the whole journey. So starting from the bank house, cycling a few kilometers, and straight away I had to stop cycling, take my bicycle on my shoulder, and climb stones, and occasionally where a tree fell on the path, and it was actually very difficult, very difficult. To make 20 kilometers, it took me about 6 hours. So I would recommend not to go for that path. I would recommend to cycle on the west coast of the lake, which will make it easier, and then you can rejoin the West Highland Way on the north of the lake, which the cycling path will be much easier. It's kind of gravel, but there's no big stones. You can easily cycle through. So back to my path, the wrong choice. Got to the north of the lake, back to the tarmac. I decided to keep cycling on the tarmac, go to the hotel for dinner, and that's it. Despite the mistake, the view was very beautiful. The journey was absolutely amazing. So third day, I woke up very early in the morning. I had a lovely sleep in the hotel, actually opened the day before my arrival. Everything was covered in snow, so after a full breakfast, about 8 o'clock, I pick up my bicycle and start pushing. The road was slightly going up to 400 meters, and at that point the snow was way too deep and I couldn't cycling, so I had to push my bicycle again for 10 kilometers. And it was very challenging again. That's why you need to keep some food with you on your bicycle, because you need some fuel to go through. So lunchtime I got to Ben Nevis ski resort. They were in a hotel, I don't remember hotel, I think King's Hotel or something like that. Beautiful place. I got changed, put some dry clothes, had some lunch next to the fireplace, reboost myself. It was very, very good. So from there, the West Highland Way cut through the wilderness and it goes up to the Devil's Staircase, which is already kind of technical, challenging walking path. So considering the weather situation, snow and the bicycle, there were no chance I could get through. So I took the A82, cycling through the Glencoe, which was a spectacular, absolutely beautiful place, peaceful. The weather wasn't too bad, just a little bit wind, the clouds, but very, very good. So from then, after Glencoe, you start to heading north, and you go up to Fort Williams when the journey gonna end. So unfortunately, doing this journey on a bicycle in March, it was impossible. So I think it's better if you get a mountain bike, no bags, and summertime, so you might able to cycle most of the path. However, I'm not recommend to cycling the east part of the Loch Lomond, because there is no way. You're not gonna cycling, you need to carry your bicycle for like 10k, 15k, 20k. It's just like pointless. It's better to walk. Devil's Staircase, again, it's a walking path, kind of challenging. I remember that when I was walking there a few years back, and it is challenging. It's beautiful, but it is challenging. It takes a lot of effort, so with a bicycle, to be honest, I wouldn't recommend. Well, overall it was a beautiful journey. So once I got to Fort Williams, I had some dinner, I stood in a hostel. I think the day after I decided to go to a place where basically is a completely wilderness, so you need to walk, cycling through, behind the Ben Nevis. So I took some information, and some guys told me that you can cycling, blah blah blah. So I started cycling through. At some point, after pushing my bicycle through snow again, looking at the map, I still had 12 kilometers to go to the hostel, and it was like at 4 o'clock in the afternoon already, so it was pointless for me. And I found a bothy, which is a kind of emergency shelter, okay, for hikers and stuff. There is nothing, just the basic. Actually, it's not even the basic. There's no toilet and nothing. There's a fireplace, which there were no goods. Anyway, I spent the nights over there, and the day after, it's been absolutely mental to go this 12 kilometers through snow, which was like 70 centimeter deep. So even pushing the bicycle was impossible. You had to carry your bicycle on your shoulder, and it was extremely difficult. So what I done, because I had to follow the river, which it wasn't too deep, it's like probably 70-80 centimeters. In some places it was like a meter deep. I decided to push my bicycle into the river, get myself completely wet, but with the right gears, like a good boot and stuff. Even if you get wet, your feet get wet, you don't really actually feel cold. So I managed to get through this madness, and I got to this train station in about 6-7 hours. As I said, 12 kilometers, 6-7 hours. It was absolutely mental. That was absolutely crazy mental, but it wasn't part of the West Highland Way. It just was my choice to finish the journey. As I said, a beautiful place. Yeah, if you are fit, you want to challenge yourself, go, but please just wait until the snow is melted. Go in summertime, book your hotel, there are plenty of restaurants open and everything, so yeah. Anyway,